If you weren't listening to Double T 97.3, here's what you missed. Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby, Saturdays at 9 on Double T 97.3. Sports Talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Music's playing.
Okay.
Now we're on. I'm David Thetford. That's Gary Ashby. Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby here on Optimum Game Day Live. Texas Tech at Iowa State. We went up there, and so we've been to that stadium.
We've been there. And
that's good fans they got up there. Good old country folks. There's lots of advertisements about corn.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Here's what I remember. Do you remember how we got back to the...
Yeah, I do.
We had the opportunity to go on a private plane up there.
Yes, we did.
And let me tell you folks something. Do that.
Do that.
Don't go commercial. Go private.
It's a lot easier, but it's a lot more. Well, it wasn't expensive for us because we got good friends.
Yeah,
a really good friend.
But do you remember how we got back to the airport?
Yeah, we were trying to find a ride.
Well, we were walking away from the stadium.
Yeah.
And we were going to call Uber.
Yeah.
But this guy in a truck drives up. It's just him.
Yeah.
I said, hey, you want to take us to the airport? He goes, sure, get in. So anyway, the fellow we were with blessed him with a $100 bill, I think, for taking us to the airport.
Took us to the airport.
Yeah.
To that, not the regular airport, that little side airport.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was a good trip.
We got beat that day.
Uh-huh.
It's a
I
tough
think
place
we've
to
gotten
win.
beat a lot up there.
Yeah, most people do.
But I think year before last we won up there. I don't know that. But that does bring me to this. Clint Scott and Taylor Beatles will be on after us.
Yes.
And they know that stuff.
I know it. I got it right here.
Optimum Game Day Live.
I got the Kim Palm basketball.
There's a difference between knowing something and having something written down.
Well, how do you think they know it? They didn't just think it up out of their head. They looked
all
on
right,
it.
all right, tell me then. Did we beat them or not?
Give me a minute. I will.
Well, you either know
and then I'll know it.
You either know it or you're going to read it.
You give me a minute and I'll know it.
Okay. I'll give you time.
All right.
In the meantime, here's our celebrity death this week was Terry Garr. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Tootsie, Young Frankenstein, Mr. Mom. And then you went to a funeral of a friend of ours yesterday in, was it Amarillo or Canyon?
It was in Amarillo, First Baptist Church, Amarillo, Leslie Broadhurst, and there were about, I don't know how many people there, 800, 900.
Yeah.
It was a big crowd and great honor. His son Blair talked and did a wonderful job. They all did. And then we went out to the graveside, which we hadn't been. I didn't know where this was. I'd never been to the graveside in Amarillo, but it was really a good service. And Leslie, of course, had a brain tumor, and he lasted about 9 months, something like that. Bless his heart. And
yeah,
36 years, the head coach at Canyon Randall.
For a brain tumor, he held in there mentally, because a lot of people with a brain tumor, they wander off.
Well, I saw him 2 weeks ago yesterday.
Yeah.
We were in his house visiting, Randy Dean and I were, and when I got word that he had died, I was like, he was fine. I mean, we had a great talk, and he seemed, he was covered up because he was cold. He was sitting on the couch. But anyway, he's, bless his heart and his family, and it's just this tough old deal.
Fairly young, was he in his?
65, almost 66.
Okay. That would have been my guess.
Graduated from Monterey in 1977. And then somehow ended up at Canyon Randall, got that job, and was there for 36 years. Ever since the school has been open, he's been their head basketball coach.
He's a little bit like me, that he doesn't like change.
Yeah.
I'll just stay here.
And then they named the court after him up there this year. And he got to be there for that. And anyway. Well, back in 2022, November the 19th, the best I can remember, 2022, Texas Tech beat Iowa State 14-10.
Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, we beat them 14-10 in Ames, Iowa. See, I knew that.
There you go. Does it have when we went up there?
I don't. Well,
That would
probably
have been about 6 years ago.
I'd have to find it.
That's all right. I thought
You know how many pages?
I assumed you knew it.
You know how many pages this,
Yeah.
whatever they call this?
Media.
67 pages every week. Of course, they don't redo most of it. They just
a lot of it you just tweak it, but it's still that's pretty impressive.
It's real impressive. Somebody's got to do this, and I bet they don't even know.
And they are compensated comfortably for that.
Yeah.
All right. Since last we met, we had a Halloween. And do y'all do Halloween at your house?
Well, a little bit, not like we used to. Well, I was there for the kids coming over. Then I went to games last night, but the kids came over at 5, a little after 5, and we,
Do they dress up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Miles, I can't remember
Baby boy 3.
Yeah. Number 2, Truman, that's his name.
Okay.
He was a football player. Number 1, Miles, was off of, he was like a, what's that movie that all the kids, oh my gosh. He looked really good. He was like a professor and had I don't know, he looked really good.
Okay.
And then Maggie was a princess. That wasn't her name. It wasn't Princess, but it was something. She was really cute. Funny thing though, they went to a party afterwards.
Was she Elsa?
No, she wasn't Elsa.
A lot of Elsas running around.
I don't.
I think because Elsa's so good looking that they like to be Elsa.
So anyway, they went to a party. A little, that families have the kids all over and do that. So they went with one of those. Maggie's there. And there's another little girl there that's near her age, and this little girl has lipstick on. So Maggie goes up to her and says, "I love your whipstick."
I love your whipstick.
I forgot to put mine on. Can I have some of yours? That's what she said to her. And she did. And she did. And the little girl had put it on. And it's pretty cute.
Yeah, that's
I love your whipstick.
Well, we went over in our block. I don't know if you ever came over. We used to have a shindig on Halloween, and I mean hundreds and hundreds just congregating on our block. Well, here's how times have changed. We went over to Amy and Alex's because they were going to take their kids.
Yeah.
Who Brooks was a golfer, and
he is a golfer, isn't he?
And he is. And Crew was a caddy. And I mean, a decked out caddy too. Got his name on his back, and so anyway, Terry has our little phone deal. So when the doorbell rings on her phone, she can tell. The doorbell rang twice.
I know it.
We
used to have a ton of people. Nobody comes by anymore.
It used to be the play. Coddle would load up the kids from y'all's side of town and bring them over on a bus. He had a bus that he dialed up.
Yeah.
And he'd bring all those kids over, and it was a deal, and it's just not a deal anymore.
I think a lot of people are having little parties and stuff, and
there's a lot more of that going on. Tell you what, I thought I was having a stroke.
These lights up here aren't on. I don't know whether we need them on.
I don't know.
That's good. You got some on. Oh, that's good. One more. You did it. This is a new guy. What's his name? What's your name, new guy?
My name's Thomas.
Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what you're doing?
A little bit. I think something happened. I don't know.
Well,
how long you been with the firm, Thomas?
I've been here for 2 months.
Oh, okay. You know what you're doing, then.
A little bit.
You know
so you worked your way up to Saturday morning, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Most people get stuck with Saturday morning.
Yeah. But not you. All right. I don't know what's happened. I'm kind of glad Halloween. It's not really that kind. It was fun. It was always just fun. We didn't think of it being bad or demonic or anything.
No,
we didn't ever think like that.
No.
But now they've told us
nowadays
it is.
Well, you got folks that just like to.
I know, it's stirred up.
Okay, what's the worst thing we can think of about this?
Yeah.
Or that? Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, hunting Easter eggs on Easter, that's not good. You shouldn't, it's not about the Easter bunny.
Well, I think eventually Halloween will be called something different, the Commanders or something.
Yeah.
It'd be called something different. So,
All right, I've got the information you asked for.
Okay.
In 1996, when we started the conference, we beat Iowa State 52-0. No, we didn't.
That was Slippery Rock.
That was 1967. But they lead the all-time series with us 13-8.
Oh,
13-8.
I'm a little surprised at that.
Yeah, me too. It didn't used to be this good, but it's going to be a fun day. You know, this will be the kind of game after we played last week the week before, and we didn't show up, and this will be the kind of game that you go, why did we do that last week?
Well,
I hope it is.
Yeah, and last week we didn't play poorly, I didn't think. Now, Baylor, we played poorly.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. We played poorly. And have you heard the hullabaloo about the
No, we played okay against TCU.
Baylor and TCU deal?
Yeah, with the helmets deals. They were listening in on our plays. Is that true?
I don't think so.
Let's get Sonny.
I think they had the ability to. And whether they did or not, I'm not sure it made a difference in the game. I'm not sure that they actually did anything with the knowledge. I'd like to think they didn't. But let me tell you, as much money's involved nowadays, and these coaches, let me tell you the difference between a fired coach and a coach that has a job. The coach that has a job continues to make lots of money, millions and millions of dollars a year if he's got a job. Now, he'll get a few million when he quits or gets fired, but he'd prefer to have that income coming in. It'd be very tempting to use that knowledge if you had it, if you had the ability.
Yeah, to keep your job.
I'll tell you what, it reminds me a little of, you remember when Tech played OU in 2008, and we were, 10-0?
Yeah, I don't have to look it up.
And we were like way good.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. We were 10-0, and we go up to OU and got stomped.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was like they knew what we were running.
Yep.
But Leach had come from OU, and I'd heard people say that we didn't change much up from. So when he's signaling in stuff, I think
they all know what it is.
That makes more sense than all of a sudden we just sucked. I mean, you know. And let me tell you, Baylor hadn't played like that all year. So you look at that game and you go, golly, something doesn't seem right. You know, either we suck or Baylor's sure playing a lot better, or something nefarious is going on. But tell you what, Taylor, one of our teams played Permian last night. Was it Friendship?
Friendship played them.
All right, and beat Permian last night. The only game I thought something is amiss is when Taylor's bunch went down at Permian and played Permian, and it was just like they know our plays. I mean, they know what we're about to run.
It gave it away. They were all over where the ball was going.
It was almost like that. It was like uncanny, and we had press box and we were radioing stuff down, and I just really think it was bugged. I might be wrong, and I apologize to the Permian people if you're not low-life cheaters, but it sure seemed funny.
Yeah,
that they just happened to be where we happened to be going. But and then the OU game, and I'll tell you, our Southwest Little League bunch, when we went, because I think if you can steal signs, that's fine. But if you're using video or you're listening in on a headset and all that, I think that's drawing the line. But just like Gus was coaching a Coronado team that was playing against my son's team, and I look out there and a kid on second's going, he wasn't being very, he's giving the pitch. And I said, hey, I yelled out, they're stealing your pitches. And Gus goes, golly, but they were stealing our pitches, which to me
So the catcher was giving one or two curveball, fastball.
Something simple.
Yeah.
And you can't do something simple when you're playing. Just like Tech baseball, they're trying to steal something to let you know what they're throwing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I think that's fine, but I think when you start,
using technology
to, if your eyes can pick up something that helps you, get after it. Just like Leach's deal against OU, I think their eyes picked up what we were doing, and I think that's fine. But I don't think what we allege or we feel like might have happened, I don't think that's fine.
Well, Baylor wouldn't do that.
Well, I tell you, it's
Bunch
just
of
it's a bad look, and the bad look is that they didn't either one, TCU or Baylor, that they didn't say, "Hey, we heard that y'all's stuff can be stolen," and they didn't.
And have they responded to this allegation? Because it's out there. People are talking about it.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to let Clint and Taylor Beatles tell y'all all about that.
Did you know this? This year is the first year that you have the helmet contact with the quarterback.
Yeah.
You have 15 seconds prior to the play, or you got to shut it off 15 seconds. And Texas Tech, it was is the first in the Independence Bowl they used it, and the first one it was Cal and some. Let's see here, handful of teams experienced using the headset communications. In the Independence Bowl, we started it last year.
Yeah.
Texas Tech and Cal were the first teams to roll out the new technology during that bowl game.
And then Arkansas or A&M were the first ones to figure out, hey, we can listen to what they're doing. I think that's the game where they figured it out.
Yeah.
And then somebody that figured that out told Baylor and TCU that, hey, you can figure this stuff out.
Well, I think that what we're going to have now is we're going to have a new department, a new job position on your team, hacker.
Yeah.
It'd be a hacker.
Be a hacker. If they make it fine. It's
and
fine
they might.
It's fine if you want to hack. Y'all just got to be better at giving your signs than that. So we'll see.
You have to get those wind talkers.
I did talk to a guy that coached college football a lot of years, offensive coordinator, and he said really as little time as there is between somebody say you're the quarterback and I tell you run the good play.
Yeah.
By the time you hear run the good play, it's real hard for them to have their defense.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where you could figure this thing out is watch video of the game and watch their sidelines and what they're doing 15 seconds before the plays run. Now if they're going, over there or over here, then you think, well, maybe they were relaying said information.
All right, well, last week we had Mike Gustafson on the show. We talked World Series. You're going to have him today or not?
I don't even know where he is. He wasn't on his show this week, so I think he may be vacationing.
But here's some news for you. It looks like the coach Grant McCasland is going to be on about 9:40 this morning on the phone. We're going to try anyway.
And I'll do an artist rendering of him.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. We now return to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby on Double T 97.3.
Hey, Las Brisas for the finest in dining. It's at 114th in Topeka. You went?
Last night.
All right.
Last night.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, good gosh, that's a great steak. Everything was great. The service was great, but everything we ordered was great. Calamari, if you like calamari.
I do.
It doesn't get any better than that. And then they throw in these jalapeno things that are fried up. Of course, anything fried with a little ranch on it.
If it's brown, it's good.
But that comes with the calamari. And my gosh, it was a good meal. So anyway,
all right,
whatever. Las Brisas.
That's Las Brisas, 114th and Topeka. That's where you'll find it. All righty, let me see here. We'll do Remax in a little bit. Golf USA, 67th and Indiana Avenue. That's where you'll find Stacy and Mike and the whole gang there. Everything you need golf. I'm telling you, these guys are the best.
They are, and they got the best.
Yeah.
So if you got a birthday or anything coming up, go down there and get it for your guy or your gal, Golf USA.
All righty. Also, HG Thrash Clothier Company, and that's Howard Thrash, who owns the company, and all these years since 1989, and the finest men's store in this part of the world, in my opinion. And
and we lost Malouse this week.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, they're closing.
Malouse is closing, and
which surprised me.
I think it's I think it speaks highly of HG Thrash.
Yeah.
Because that's where people are choosing to go.
All right, he hadn't answered me, so call him. Well, we can't sit around all day.
Oh, no. Well, let's
If
talk about.
he can either answer or not.
And since he's not going to be on Zoom and he's not coming in, I did an artist rendering.
Yeah.
But it truly looks more like either Beavis or Butthead, and I'm not sure which one
really
it is.
Nice. Let's do that for the coach.
Well, who is it? I don't remember which was which.
It looks evil. It looks mean.
Anyway,
don't do it.
I'm just going to throw this one away. It was not one of my best works of art.
No.
So anyway, but that's what he gets for not coming in.
Yeah, we're going to draw pictures of you.
Draw pictures of you.
All right. He hadn't answered still, but
okay.
I did text with him last night, and he was going to recruit. He's somewhere recruiting.
Always.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You'd think recruiting would be easier now because all you got to do is say, hey, fella, look what I got.
I know.
You want some of this?
Just pay him now.
Yeah. You want some of this?
Yeah. Plus, the players you need to be recruiting are in your gym. We got to recruit these guys again.
Oh, you got to do that.
Yeah.
That's probably what he meant by recruiting. He said practice.
Trying to keep everybody happy.
Keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
No, that's right. All right, here's my 3 positive takeaways from the World Series. And you be thinking of some while I'm doing this.
Okay.
I'm going to do the negatives first. We'll start with the negatives. One of them, negative number 1 was the inning from hell for the Yankees.
What in the world happened to them?
I mean, you sit there and go, I understand what Cole was thinking is the first baseman is right there. All he's got to do is take 4 or 5 steps and step on the bag, and we'll go hit.
Yeah.
We'll be up 5-0. But you can't ever assume.
And that's that deal that if you listen to broadcast all the time, that's the first thing we work on in the spring.
Oh, yeah. Well, he started over there.
The pitcher running down the line.
He was headed that way.
Yeah.
And then he just thought, no sense me getting in the way over there.
Yeah.
And sure enough. But let me tell you, if you see a ball spinning like that one was, it ain't no routine play.
No.
In fact, you almost want to get down like a goalie and just keep it from spinning past you. So really it was he has to be feeling horrible about that. Shortstop has to be feeling pretty bad. Tough play, but it's a play you make.
Yeah.
If you're making millions of dollars to make that play, you probably make that play. Then what else? There's something else.
Judge out in center field. That was the worst of it. That's just a routine.
One of them's mental. Cole's deal was mental.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to say Judge's deal was mental too.
He just took his eye off.
It wasn't a lack of ability.
No.
Or you dove and the ground knocked it out of your.
Yeah.
He just missed it.
Yeah.
You know what it sort of reminded me of? Remember Bartman or Gartman? Was it Gartman or Bartman that reached out and crap. David, was it the Red Sox? Cubs. He reaches out on the field and gets in the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they want to kill the kid.
The
I mean, they literally, some people, I'm sure you got death threats over it. But the bottom line is, well, if you make a pitch or make a play after Gartman does that, you're out of the inning. Yeah. But they didn't make a play after that. And just like the Yankees
we got him.
Make a play.
How about it? Coach, you there? Put him through. Coach.
What's happening, guys?
Hey, buddy. Thank you for doing this. I know you had another thing to be at 10.
Oh.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's great. No, we're going to walk in the gym at 10 o'clock. So
Grant McCasland, everybody, the head basketball coach.
Hey, have you considered, Coach, changing workouts from Saturday morning to maybe
so you can be on
Saturday
our show?
Afternoon so you could be on the show more? Because it really gets in the way.
Well, it's like today we don't have practice, but I'm on the road recruiting, so it's not going to matter. It's always going to be fun.
I heard this, and you tell me if it's true or not. I heard this like yesterday or the day before. I'm not really sure what day it is, but because I changed all my clocks last night, and it wasn't the right time. But anyway, I heard that Cece, your wife, said, "I'll see you at Christmas." Did she say that?
Oh.
Well, I don't know if that's the exact term, but no, she knows through experience that this time of year is awesome for our family, and and everybody's invested, everybody's involved, but there's some truth to it. It gets pretty busy.
Now, are you a different animal during basketball season? Because I can remember Gerald Myers back at the lunch table at the dining hall during basketball season. Completely different human.
Yeah.
I mean, are you different during basketball, or are you about the same all year round?
Man, that's a loaded question that you shouldn't ask me, right? I mean, if you want to know the truth, you probably got to go to somebody else. I try not to be, but I'm sure there are days where there's more of an edge to the concentration, and it's not to say that you don't try to approach every day with the same impact that you want to have to love people well, but to hold everybody accountable to a standard that will win the whole thing. I do think that the time urgency that's associated with games being played does put a squeeze on things in a way that you try, you're trying to get something accomplished in a short amount of time. So there's definitely an edge to the season that's a little bit different than what you would normally have in your schedule.
Well, you're pretty amazing, Coach. You really are amazing. We appreciate who you are and what you are. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And we're so glad you're here at Texas Tech.
Well, I am too, honestly, and I'm convicted about it. I believe in it with all my heart, and I know this is exactly where we're supposed to be, and that gives you a lot of confidence, I think, to step into situations, that other people, whether it be the change in college landscape with, the whole NIL component and just the changing of rosters and the ability to, dude, I just love it. Honestly,
you do.
I love it. I love every part of it. Every part of it. I do. I love every part of it.
When you signed, we were the Big 12 when you signed, weren't we? Did you know what was going to happen when we all of a sudden became the Big 16, and all of a sudden you got 8 of the top 20 teams in the country in your league?
And you're one of them.
And you're one of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was part of it when it was 10, when it was 12, when it was, I've seen all of it. And the one part I do love, you said this, and I did ask somebody with some real analytics that does this for a profession, professionally and at the collegiate level. And he, it's funny. He was like, "Hey, we really love your team. We love who you've organized. We love your freshman Christian Anderson. We love your guard play. We think you shoot it really well, and giving us advice on how we should play." And we solicited. We were looking at working with him, and he said, the thing I'll tell you, I got some good news and bad news. He says the good news is we have you projected somewhere around a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament with your current roster. He said the bad news is you're the 6th best Big 12 team.
That is bad news. Well, I'm looking. The preseason deal came out. We were 7th. On Pomeroy, we're 14th. You probably don't care about any of that or even look at any of that because it doesn't matter.
No, I look at Ken Pomeroy like I look at the Bible. Honestly, I watch it every day, and we started 15 and somehow we went to 14 and we hadn't played a game. So who knows what that means? The truth is, I do think that the reason why I like it is it's more of a projection of previous teams that have been at Tech too. Mm-hmm. So you can't claim all of it. I mean, it's got a real bend toward the defensive side. I do think our team's got a chance to be good defensively. We're not there yet. We need to get some more experience at guarding the basketball. But we do have a talented offensive roster. And y'all know this, when you look at the bench and Thetford, when you used to look at me on your bench when we were playing together here back in the day, you'd be like, I don't want to put him in. He ain't quite the answer. Well, I do look down there and I look at our roster and I think, man, it's going to be a little harder to pick who we play because I like our team.
Yeah.
And when you do have that depth at the guard spot going into the season, I think it gives you a different level of confidence knowing that, hey, we can score on some teams. If we'll find a way to get a little tougher as the year goes on, it gives you a formula for projection of getting better. And that, to me, is the most important part of this. And it's the part that people talk about the least. I think we have a team that I really do think can get better over the course of the season.
Well, tell me about this one kid, because he was one of my favorites last year to watch, and then all of a sudden he got hurt and he didn't play. Cambridge, is back and 100%. Is that right?
Well, I mean, 100% until we see it go in games is hard to say, but I would say he's practicing full go, and we do anticipate him playing in games. And so, you know, being in game shape and being in practice shape is something completely different. And so we haven't had enough experiences as a team with him out there, but, you know, I do anticipate him getting to 100%, and I love his frame of mind. I love his competitiveness. I love what he's bringing to our team right now. He really does have a defensive mindset. He really does have a role that I think he sees where he's going to be successful. And, man, he really makes our team better.
Yeah, that's why he's one of my favorites.
Oh, he is. He's going to be a great one. But here's my favorite from last year, Coach. So I'm looking at all the preseason, all Big 12 first team and the second team and the player year. We don't have a player on there. And Darian Williams, in my personal opinion, was one of the best players in the Big 12 last year. And he was in the top 5. That guy was amazing last year, Coach. I thought he was great.
Yeah, and he ended up being a third-team All-Big 12 player, which, you know, that's being voted by the coaches. You know, there's a lot of respect. But there's also a ton of turnover in our roster.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the teams that have been picked ahead of us, and several of those teams have guys that transferred in and were all conference in other leagues that are top 3 leagues in the country. So I do think when this thing settles, he'll be an all Big 12 player, and he just does all the things that you want as a coach to win you a game.
Yeah.
And you know, what does the team need? Darian Williams will figure it out. He can make threes. He can score in the paint. He can distribute. He's a better playmaker this year. That's where he's made significant improvements to me. You know, and when the game's on the line, he knows what needs to happen. And that, to me, I think is the X factor with him. Like, you see a different dial tighten on him when the game's on the line, and he can find ways to do things that maybe you didn't anticipate and win. He just really is a remarkable competitor.
All right, all our listeners that are big fans of men's basketball, they remember Williams, they remember Cambridge. Who are some of the new guys that we need to look for and just say, oh, yeah, Coach said he was going to be special? Who's special?
Yeah, you know, the guys that return, I think Kerwin Walton and Chance McMillan have been terrific on an everyday basis. Emily Yalaho, I think, has made a big jump. He'll be better. I'm not sure his contribution early just because of the depth of our team. The newcomers, I think Elijah Hawkins, just from a playmaking standpoint, in one of the first scrimmages, he had 8 assists and only 2 turnovers, and he averaged 7.5 last year. He is that dynamic in the middle of the floor and in the open floor, which will be fun for people to watch. Federico really has a team-oriented defensive shot blocking. But the guys that have kind of jumped out here recently, Kevin Overton has played terrific. He's scored. He's defended the other team's better players. He's just really had some consistent, you know, impacts on winning. And then JT Toppin, I think, has the natural instincts to be an all Big 12 player, and it's really been awesome to see him make a big jump for us. So
do we call?
We're looking forward. We're looking forward to his impact for sure.
You got a bunch of guys, Coach. I'm so excited about this team. Do we call Federico? He goes by.
What do y'all call him?
What do y'all call him? Y'all don't call him that.
Calls himself Fede 2 times. So 2 times. I mean,
2 times.
You know, he enjoys it. He loves it. He rolls with it. He's fun, man. When you're around him and you meet him face to face, there's not a person with a greater joy than Fede. He really loves his team, and he loves the game, and he loves winning. So he's fun to be around.
Coach, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you being on the show today, taking the time. I know you're busy, and we're looking forward to the season. It starts this coming week.
It is. It is. It'll be fun. We'll see everybody at the women's game and then come out and watch us play. We got a full week of it, and then we play again Friday. So look forward to seeing everybody at the United Supermarkets Arena for November 5th and the first game for the Red Raiders.
We were going to talk about the block party, but we're out of time, and I know that was a huge success, and I'm glad y'all did that. That was great.
Oh, that's a great
Me
idea.
too.
Whose idea was it, real
Great
quick?
to be with y'all.
Thank you, Grant.
I take no credit. We got great people, as y'all know.
There you go.
We'll see you later.
Appreciate you.
All right, see you. Thanks
right,
a bunch.
bye-bye.
See you, fellas.
Grant McCasland. He's awesome. He really is.
Well, I was wanting to. I knew we didn't have enough time to get into y'all playing church league together. And did you ever have any assists during that time, or you?
They threw me the ball.
Yeah.
And Grant was great at throwing you the ball.
Oh, was he?
Oh my
So he
gosh.
didn't care to shoot.
He could shoot it too, but he's a quick guard, real
Okay.
quick.
All right, we'll be right back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Let me see where I was here. River Smith's, 5th and Avenue Q. Great seafood, great everything. I'm so proud they're helping out with the Lubbock ISD out at the press box. Every week we have catfish and chicken and sausage.
I mentioned this last week. Food for thought. They got the top deal, and then you want that. You want that in the restaurant. No, they don't cut any corners there. Chris ain't cutting no corners.
And Chris is back there working.
Yeah.
And he is on top of it. Let me tell you that. Chris Berry. Go see him at River Smith's. Big meeting room in the back, and it's a big restaurant. Plains Capital Bank, ride with the good guys, Barry Ballinger and his crew. Locations all over the city of Lubbock if you like to go inside. Plus, they have state-of-the-art banking with your computer, your phone, however you want to do it. They can help you. Plains Capital Bank. Long-time supporters of Lubbock and our community and Texas Tech. Quarter 4, here's another one.
Yeah.
Old Cardinals, but still the same store, still the same people, just named Quarter 4 outside the loop on Slide Road. Welcome back. We're doing Quarter 4.
Speaking of Quarter 4, my
Yeah.
wife was in there just yesterday getting. Oh, I hope she's giving it to him. Getting a birthday gift for my son-in-law. Happy birthday to my son-in-law, Alex.
Yeah.
So you're getting something nice
I got
from Quarter
something
4.
from there for my daughter Rachel.
Did you?
And we sent it to Colorado, to Fort Collins.
Golly, you could do one-stop shopping at
It's
Quarter 4.
Everybody.
Yeah,
All
without
right.
a doubt.
R.C. Taylor Distributing Company, convenience store-type items, grocery store-type items, and they will bring it to you 125, 150 miles around Lubbock. They'll load it up on one of those trucks and bring it out there to you and unload it. Now, if you're way off, you can't order just one jar of pickles. But, if it's a
You could
order,
try it.
You could try it. See
Yeah.
what they say.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure there's a
Because
qualifying
those big
order.
pickles.
Yeah, they're big ones. But they're just helpful. That's what they are. R.C. Taylor, they're
Isn't
helpful.
that amazing? That's one of the more popular items at a concession
it's
stand is those
unbelievable.
big
I don't get it.
old pickles.
And they're sour. Oh, so anyway. They got them at R.C. Taylor Distributing. Red Zone Cafe, 37th and Slide. Great food, great price, great service, and a couple of meeting rooms there, too, if you want to have a little
we
meeting.
use one every Tuesday.
We do. And then Bednar's and Associates, we appreciate Daryl Bednar's. He is a good friend. And
Hey, here's the
he and
deal
Bunny,
on
they're-
Bednar.
Yeah.
Here's the deal on Bednar's. He golfs yesterday.
Yeah.
And then our golf group went to dinner last night, like I talked about earlier, and Bednar's didn't come. And you know why? He had a claim in La Mesa that he had to. I like a guy that will put work in front of pleasure. I used to be one of those guys.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
Got over that.
I outgrew that.
Well, that's Daryl. I mean, Daryl is. If you're an ag producer, farmer, rancher, there ain't no better person to know than Daryl Bednar's and it's Bunny Bednar's, the whole team there, and they'll
all
take
the little
care of you.
Bednar's.
All the little Bednar's, they'll take care of you. Then McGavick Nissan and Infiniti of Lubbock, and we. If you just drive around town, look around who's selling cars, you're going to see Nissans everywhere.
And let me tell you what, you see a good-looking car,
And
go, I
Infinitis.
wonder what that is, and it's got a McGavick plate on the back.
Y'all need to stop in to see him out on Milwaukee is where and Spur 327 is where Nissan is, and then McGavick Nissan, and then the Infinity's right there on the corner, right on Spur 327.
Right by each other.
You'll love it. All righty.
World Series.
Oh, yeah.
I did one of my 3 positives. No, negatives. I start out with the negatives, the inning from hell. And it was. Usually innings from hell start with a walk. Yeah. And I think this just started with errors.
God, it was unbelievable. And the announcers were just like, what in the world? These are pro baseball.
This is the best of the best.
It's like Bad News Bears.
Yeah, it's the best of the best. And when we got that. So, anyway.
All right, this wasn't really, I don't know.
Negative?
It's a negative.
Okay.
But it was funny. I mean, it was not funny, but it was weird.
Oh.
Where the Yankee fan.
Lots of things.
Where the Yankee fan pulls the ball out of his glove when he went over to the.
That would be a negative.
That's horrible.
Come on, fella.
And the guy was just ruthless about it.
Well, here's the deal. It's got to where these balls. We talked about Ohtani's ball that fetched $4.4 million almost. Yeah. You know, these people think this is a valuable thing that's in my lap right here, and all I got to do is take it out of this guy's glove.
Yeah.
He really should have pulled the glove off of his hand, taken the ball out, and handed him his glove back.
Yeah, that would have been much more appropriate.
A nice gesture. Here's your glove back. Although I could get a lot of money for this glove.
Did you see how intent he was on getting that ball out of there?
And his buddy was sort of helping him.
I know.
It was like a...
Surely this will be okay. They won't say anything. He didn't catch it.
Here's what makes it even worse for the old boys. Both of them is it was like the second inning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they've paid. I'm gonna say
$1,000
plus.
Yeah, front row
for those seats, and all of a sudden they don't get to see squat.
They're out of there.
They're out of there. So anyway,
what got me about it was just the guy's intensity to get that ball out of there, like it was gonna help.
That was way worse than Gartman. Gartman was just doing what any fan would do,
just
reaching up, trying to catch a foul ball.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden he got wore out. Okay, I told you mine. You gave me yours. Here's another one. And this might even be ahead of the inning from hell, is that rapper before the New York Yankee game.
That's what you sent me. I didn't know what you were doing.
Well, I mean, to me, the baseball field is hollowed ground.
Yeah.
And before a World Series game, which doubles the hollow squared.
Yeah.
Hallowed.
Yeah.
Hallowed square. You're out there, and it's just and all of a sudden this guy comes out. And and you couldn't even understand what he was saying.
I know it.
And I don't understand where they thought this would fit in. It didn't go over very well.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one that thought, what in the world are they doing? He walking around the infield doing whatever it was. We ought to play the music. I think it's clean.
You're going to make all our fans mad. They're playing it on that show now.
Yeah.
Well, you sent it to me. I've got it.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I can find it, by golly. Oh, here's what popped up my phone this morning. I wake up to this on my phone, and it may be because the election is coming up.
I can't see who that is.
It's Tuberville.
Oh, it is?
It's Tuberville, and so anyway.
Hey,
I texted him, told him we need to have him back on because it would be a good time of year to have him.
Yeah.
Depending upon how this election. Did you notice the flags I've got?
Yeah,
it's a big day coming up Tuesday.
Big day. All right, Thomas. I can't remember what I was going to say to you.
Thomas.
We're not
Thomas
streaming.
The train.
Yeah, how's that train deal going for you?
We've been on an hour and we haven't streamed.
No. Well, I just heard from Sid Chance, and Sid says we're not streaming. Do you know how to do that?
I can try and find out. Let me check real quick.
Well, Jeff McGuire knows how. He knows how to do everything.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
He really, really does.
And he wishes he didn't, I think.
Yeah, because he's supposed to.
Call Jeff. Everybody's going to call Jeff.
All right, let's see.
I wish we knew how to do that stuff, but we don't know how to. Of course, he's over there behind that wall, and
well, look what I'm going to figure out though.
And we can't. We don't know how. We don't even know how to turn the show on. If nobody showed up, we couldn't turn the show on. Is that it? Yeah, that's baseball right there.
Nothing says MLB.
Who are they trying to appease?
I don't know.
They do that kind of. They say that's what the kids want to hear.
Well, if you look, everybody's sitting on the bench, on the Yankees bench, except for this one guy, and he's getting into it, and everybody else is going, "What are we doing?"
It might have messed the Yankees up. This is
supposed to fire them up, I guess. I guess.
We should be on air now.
Okay.
Well, that was one of my two negatives from the World Series. You got another negative?
It wasn't long enough. I wanted to go more games because I just love watching those two teams play.
Well, you can blame Freddie Freeman for that.
Yep.
Because the Yankees are going to go up 1-0. And we talked about this last week, but is that the over and under was 9, and going into the 10th inning, there's 4 runs scored. It's almost impossible not to win that bet.
Yeah, I know it's a bad beat,
but it can happen. I've seen it happen. So anyway,
it's working now.
Here's another weird deal. Out of the 40 times it's gone 3-0, where one team was up 3-0, you'd think quite frequently it would go to 3-2, 3-3. 31 out of the 40 times that it went to 3-0, it was closed out in Game 4. I think there's a lot of quit in these baseball players.
I think you're right. We can't win.
Suck it up.
What about the Red Sox when they were down 3-0 in the American League Championship?
Well, that was American League Championship.
Yeah.
I was talking about the World Series.
Yeah, but that was a nice deal because they hadn't won, since 1918.
Yeah. But anyway, 4 times, 4 out of 40, 1 out of 10 that it's gone 3-0, it's gone to Game 7. So.
One time.
4.
Oh, 4 times.
Yeah.
That's pretty
10%
amazing.
of the time. 4 out of 40. So anyway, my positives were, one of them be Freddie Freeman.
Wasn't he fun?
Here's something that you might not know, David. A day before the playoffs began, he was unable to pick himself up off the floor after taking swings in the batting cage. Turns out he had a broken costal cartilage in his 6th rib.
Oh,
an injury that can sideline players for months. His father was worried about his son, so he told him, "Hey, you don't need to play." And Freddie said, Fred said, "I told him to stop. I said, Freddie, this is not worth it. I know you love baseball. I love baseball, but it's not worth what you are going through." And he looked at me like I was crazy and said, "Dad, I'm never going to stop." And then he said,
"That's great."
And he told people later that it only hurts when I miss.
Yeah. So make sure you put the bat on the ball.
He said, "So I'm going to have to stop missing."
Well, he did. He did. What a series he had.
Let me tell you what. I've done that with broken rib, and you can't laugh, you can't sneeze, you can't cough, and so playing baseball is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to do. So anyway. All right, here I got trivia for you. Major League Baseball trivia. The Dodgers are the 6th team to win multiple World Series in this century, 2000 to today. Can you name any of the other 5?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Cardinals, 06 and I was going to say 011.
They
06
did do it?
and 2011. Yes,
Yeah.
You got that one.
This should be fairly easy.
How about this? I'll give you a hint.
I don't know what that means. He's a drummer?
No, they're in the state of Texas.
Oh, the Astros.
Yeah, the Astros.
Yeah, I knew that. I mean, I should have known that.
Well, that's all right.
Should have said it.
I should have said it. I would have been right had I only said it.
Just didn't say it.
I was
It
this
was in
close
my
to
head.
being right.
It was in my head.
Who was that football player we had? I thought it in my head.
Yeah,
It's Crabtree, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
I thought it
By
in
the
my
way,
head.
yesterday was the however many years anniversary of that catch.
Yeah, that's right.
It was yesterday.
Well, it's 08, so
Yeah, so 16 years.
18.
No, I don't know.
yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, 18, 16.
That
years.
was the anniversary. Yesterday was the anniversary of that catch.
We should have celebrated.
Yeah, no.
It's one of the all-time great
Hey, why don't
moments.
you call Josh Bard and get him on the phone?
Okay,
He's the bullpen coach for the Dodgers.
got him a ring.
Let's do it.
He'd be a wonderful guy to have in your bullpen too.
Oh, man.
You got to have guys back in there that they got to be half
You have his number?
psychologists, half. I don't know.
I looked at mine. I thought I had it, but I didn't.
Okay, so you got the Astros and the Cardinals. All right, who did the Dodgers play? I'll give you a hint.
The Yankees?
Yes, the Yankees.
Okay. I
All
thought
right.
they weren't in the choice.
Who were we talking about? The Pilgrims.
The Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox. They've done it 4 times.
What? What have they done?
They've won the World Series
Oh,
since the
okay.
turn of the century. 04, 07, 013, and 018. Might as well go with that.
Yeah.
You know, when it's 2018, you could say
018, yeah.
and not be too stupid. All right, Giants are the last one. So there you have it. You did good.
San Francisco Giants,
I'm going to pass you because I like you. All right, the guy that hit the grand slam for the Yankees, which could have been one of the all-time great deals if the Yankees had come back and won, besides that one game. 23-year-old shortstop, grew up in Manhattan.
He didn't look like a home run hitter, did he?
15 years ago, he was at the Yankees parade, 2009, with his family. See, so anyway.
You know, you just never know, and you wouldn't have dreamed he could dream it, but he would have never thought, I'll be playing for the Yankees someday, and I'm going to hit a grand slam in the World Series. You know, but you out playing in the yard and stuff.
Yeah.
3-2 the count, 2 outs.
I'm not even sure you do what Freddie Freeman did. Okay, we're down 3 in the bottom of the 10th.
I got it.
Yeah. And if I line out to the right fielder, I could hit it as hard as I could hit a ball. I'm not necessarily the GOAT, but we lose.
Yeah.
But I don't. I hit it.
He hits it out of the park. Amazing.
All right, the 2 starters in the last game of the World Series, Buehler and Schmidt, you know what they had in common? They both had, I'm going to tell you, because I'm not going to waste the time. I'm not going to put you on the spot again.
How would I know this?
It Tommy John surgery.
Oh.
And
they have it at Lubbock Sports Medicine?
And Tommy John has been on the show before. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Now listen to this. Approximately 40% of Major League Baseball pitchers have had Tommy John surgery. I mean, that you think maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
All right, the Dodgers had 17 pitchers this year. You know, they come and they go. With Tommy John, that had Tommy Johns, and the Yankees threw 16 pitchers this year that had Tommy Johns. So I think what we're saying here, kids, is run get you a Tommy John surgery.
You get to the World Series.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's
see. That many have had it shows you the torque and the damage to the arm.
Yeah.
If you ever just really watch them throw, the torque on that arm is phenomenal. I mean, how hard it is.
Oh, yeah. All right. World Series. You got any more World Series, or do we want
to I'm done.
Wander into something else?
No, I just had all these World Series stacks, but a lot of them are old from a long time ago.
Well, it's going to be another year before you can use them.
Yeah, I'll save them. They'll still be the same next year.
Yeah, for the most part.
Here's one, October 23rd through the 30th, 2019. This World Series in 2019, something unique happened that has never happened before or since. What happened? What was it?
Hey, I can tell you one World Series in 1989. Okay,
Well, that's not the question.
Well, I know, but when we get this one done, 1989, I want you to.
It's not on this list.
Did it have anything to do with COVID? There were no fans in the stands?
No. First time in World Series history, the road team won every game.
Oh.
That's kind of unique.
Yeah, that's.
The Washington Nationals defeat the Houston Astros in a 7-game series, and they lost. Every home team lost. You didn't want to play at home.
Wow.
Can we play y'all again? All right. What's 1989?
1989, what happened?
That's not even on the list.
I'll give you a hint.
What?
The Giants were one of the teams.
Oh, it was the earthquake year.
Earthquake.
Yeah.
I remember it because my wife was pregnant with twins, and she was laid up in the hospital. She was in the hospital like a month with those twins, letting them bake. And I was watching it up there, and then that earthquake happened, and
we were in San Francisco with Coa Banker about a month after that happened, or 2 months.
Lord.
And they were, they had patches all over the roads where the stuff had come up.
Don't you remember that double deck deal that just came down and just
in Oakland, that Oakland deal? Well,
that's when you just go,
yeah,
it's just meant to be. If the expressway above you collapses on you,
it's heavy.
It's just you're just meant to go.
Yeah,
because ain't much you can do about it.
All righty. Well, we're going to come back, and we're going to do some more show.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any more guests.
Hodgepodge when we come
back.
No,
we're going to talk Lady Raiders. We're going to talk Texas Tech soccer. It's a big match
today.
Today,
isn't it?